Sp4zie and plenty.
Hello Yotum, Sp4zie coming right at you with a little bit of a preview of the new Ryze changes that is live on the PBE right now. Ryze is one of the original Sp4zies. He's been around for a while. It's about time they freshen him up. Now the changes to him might not look that significant on the surface, but there's actually a lot of things going on here that changes how you play as him and how you play against him. So I thought I'd make this video to sort of, make it very easy for you guys to see what's going on and to hear what you guys think about this change. Also, look at the new Summoners profile. This is looking pretty good in my opinion. I'm excited about this, and especially the Champion Mastery, whatever it's called. It's gonna be fun to fiddle around with that when it goes live. Anyways, Ryze, let's do it. Let's start by talking about the things that hasn't really changed. The Rune Prison is still very much the same, like non-projectile lock root ability that we all come to know and love, I guess. And the ultimate, pretty much the same. You've got the movement speed, the spell vamp, and the AoE enhancement of all the abilities. But it does now give you a 10% cooldown reduction passively for each point you put into it. And that has sort of been moved from the Q to the ultimate. So that is the change there. This means in general that Ryze will have a more steady power spike with his cooldown reduction for every ultimate level up he has, instead of him having ridiculously low cooldowns when he maxes the Q only, right? And speaking of the Q, it is no longer a just click and do damage ability. It is actually a projectile, which means that an enemy can hide behind minions to sort of avoid taking damage from it. Could be seen as a little bit of a nerf, I guess, but it also has increased in range, so you can actually, when you're chasing down a target, reach them further out than you could before. But oddly enough, it actually works kind of well with the new changes to his E. Before, it was a ball that bounced around randomly between minions and Ryze himself, but now it actually is more of a controlled ability that works really well against enemies that are hiding behind and close to the ranged minions. Because right now, it hits the target, it bounces off to 4 additional targets near the enemy, including Ryze, and then it bounces back if they find these targets. So if a champion is alone and not really close to any other enemies, or Ryze for that matters, they won't take as much damage from this. Also, just as before, it reduces magic resist on each hit. So to simplify it, they've reduced a lot of randomness to this ability and sort of made it more of a decision like, this champion is cluttered up with a lot of minions or other champions. This is a good idea to attack him with my E because it'll deal the most damage and shred the most magic resist, right? And likewise, if you're an enemy, you might be thinking, hey, I think I should probably split up now because that will make me less vulnerable to his E. Alright, and now we dive into the juice a bit. This is what changes Ryze the most in my opinion. It's the passive. On live, it is that when you use an ability, all your other abilities cooldown is reduced by 1 second. And what they've done is they sort of removed that constant cooldown spamminess and sort of condensed it into a little steroid. Every time you use your ability, you gain a stack of your passive. And when you reach 5 stacks, you hear this little sound effect and you get a shield that is based on your max mana, and now you're able to spam the crap out of your abilities. The reduction you're getting is based on the cooldown on your Q, so it's like, yeah, you get 4 seconds during when this passive lasts, and you can just really spam at that point. So what you want to be doing, obviously, is looking at your stacks, and when you have 4, you want to be like, okay, this is it, this is when I want to go in, I pop my ultimate, get 5 stacks, and then you just spam away at your enemy. And likewise, the enemy's gonna be thinking, okay, he just used his passive, this is my opportunity to go in and out-trade him because he doesn't have that immense cooldown reduction on his abilities. So where does this put Ryze? I think that I really like this. I think it's it changes him up in one way, but in one way it doesn't. So like, he is very much the same. His abilities feel very much the same, even though the Q is a skill shot now. You do still feel like you go in there, you put out massive AoE damage, but you do have to time it a little bit better now, which I like. I like that little mini game of the stacks. It's like a mini Gnar bar in that sense, but it's more controlled. So you can like run around in the jungle, for instance, and you can build up stacks with your Q. You don't have to hit spells. Also, you can use the passive to be very tactical and reduce the cooldown of your ultimate if you know you're gonna go into a big fight. So like, you want to time your passive with, for instance, clearing a minion wave, because you know you're gonna be getting 3 or 4 or 5 spells off, and that is gonna reduce the cooldown, so your ultimate is gonna be up next fight and stuff like that. So I definitely like that. I think it's a good thing. And you're still gonna be building lots of mana, because his abilities, including his passive, scales off of mana, and you do want to be able to spam a lot of abilities, so a tier is probably going to be quite core. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Ryze player, obviously. You guys know that I like to play way more chicken mages, like I like to stay back with Serath or Vel'Koz and just poke people. But if you're a Ryze main, why not drop a little comment and let me know what you think. I'm very keen on hearing what people that actually play Ryze think of this, because I think it's gonna be way more fun to play him now. Anyways, if you enjoyed this little preview, feel free to drop a like, and thank you so much for the amazing feedback on the last stream, Derp. My girlfriend was trolling me pretty hard last stream, and I guess you guys enjoy that. Go and check that out. There'll be an annotation in the end of the video. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next time. This has been Sp4zie, and I am out. Toots!